So, my girlfriend told me she needed space and asked me not to reach out for a while. Then, next thing I know, she's posting vacation selfies with her ex. I honored her request, didn't bother her, and in the meantime, I went ahead and changed the locks and sold the car, yeah, my car, that she'd been driving. When she eventually came back, her key didn't work, and her usual parking spot? Empty. But let me back it up a bit. I'm James, 30 years old, and I guess if I'm gonna tell this whole mess properly, I should start from the top. It's still fresh and honestly, I'm feeling a bit raw about it. This all kicked off about 3 weeks ago when Mary, she's 28, dropped a bombshell on me. Through text, of course. We'd been together close to 2 years, and for the past year, she'd been living with me in my apartment. Things seemed fine, I guess? Maybe a little off lately, but nothing that really raised any alarms. At least not for me. Then, out of nowhere, on some random Tuesday night while I'm chopping veggies for dinner, her message pops up, "James, things feel complicated. I really need some space to think and figure things out. Please don't contact me. I'll reach out when I'm ready." Man, that hit me like a freight train. When someone asks for space, it's usually a red flag. But I wanted to be the mature, understanding boyfriend. I shot back a simple reply, "Okay, Mary. I get it. Take whatever time you need." After that? Nothing. Total silence. Which, to be fair, is exactly what she asked for. So I kept my distance, just like she wanted. I sulked around the apartment for a couple of days, feeling confused and hurt, wondering what the hell complicated even meant. Work helped take my mind off things a little, but by Friday night, I was restless and bored, just scrolling through Instagram to kill time. That's when I saw it. A friend of ours had tagged her in a post. There she was, Mary, on some sun-drenched beach, drink in hand, smiling like she didn't have a care in the world. And right beside her? Michael, her ex. Yep. The same guy she once swore was completely out of the picture. The caption said something like "Island getaway vibes, reunited and thriving." My stomach dropped. So, that space she needed? Apparently, it was a code word for tropical getaway with the ex. While I was stuck in our apartment respecting her no-contact rule, she was out there playing vacation couple with the guy she supposedly left in the past. That's when the sadness gave way to something else, clarity. Cold, sharp clarity. She didn't just want space. She wanted to test drive her old relationship without interference, without me in the picture. She kept me hanging, probably as a fallback plan, all while using my home and my things. I wasn't just being sidelined, I was being played. So you want space? You want radio silence? You got it. That Saturday morning, I got to work. First step, the locks. I called a locksmith right when they opened and had both the deadbolt and knob changed. Cost me about $250, but it felt like money well spent. Her key was now just a piece of metal that didn't open anything. Next up? The car. Let me give you some context. Around 6 months ago, Mary's old beater of a car finally gave out. She needed a solid ride for her job. She's in social media marketing and apparently does a lot of in-person client stuff. Thing was, her credit was kind of a mess, so I stepped up and bought her a used but nice Mazda CX-5. It wasn't cheap, maybe around $18,000, but the loan, title, and insurance were all under my name. That was the deal. She'd pay me back in monthly installments, and the car was hers to drive. But legally? It was 100% mine. She treated it like her own, decked it out with those fuzzy dice and everything, but I always kept a spare key. So after I changed the locks, I grabbed the key, took the car to a dealership I trust, and explained the situation. I told them I was the registered owner and needed to sell. They gave it a quick once-over and said they'd offer about $16,500, depending on the inspection and title clearance. Sounded fair enough, so I signed the preliminary paperwork and left it with them. Took an Uber back home. The dealership said it would take a few days to finalize everything. And just like that, her parking spot? Empty. Her stuff? Still untouched in the spare closet. I wasn't about to toss it, that felt unnecessarily petty, but she wasn't getting back into my place without having a real conversation. And remember, she'd explicitly told me not to contact her. Weirdly, I felt calm. Like I was performing some kind of emotional surgery. Yeah, it hurt. I felt like a fool, honestly. But I wasn't acting out of anger, it was more about logic. She drew the line when she went on that trip. She ended the relationship without saying the words. I was just honoring what she'd already shown me with her actions. Now, all I had to do was wait. From the looks of her Instagram, this Best Life Island trip still had another week to go. I was curious to see what would happen when she came back and realized things weren't exactly how she left them. Well, she's back. And it didn't take long for things to go down. It was last Tuesday, around 9 p.m. I was just chilling on the couch watching TV, trying not to overthink it, when I heard the jingle of keys outside the door. Then the sound of one scraping in the lock. Nothing. A pause. Then more jiggling, quicker this time. Frustrated. Followed by pounding on the door. James? What's going on? Open up. Mary's voice. She sounded irritated, not worried. I took a breath, got up, and cracked the door open, keeping the chain locked. She was standing there with her suitcase, a tan, and a pissed-off look on her face. My key's not working. Did you change the lock? I stayed calm. Yeah, I did. Her eyes blinked. You what? Why would you do that? You asked for space and no contact, Em. I gave you exactly that. Permanently. What are you talking about? I just needed some time. You can't just lock me out. I saw the photos, Mary. You and Michael, looking pretty cozy on that beach. Seems like you've already figured things out. Her expression flipped, annoyance gave way to something closer to panic. She was caught. That was just a trip. It didn't mean anything. We're just friends. I raised an eyebrow. Friends who go on romantic island vacations while putting their boyfriend on ice? Got it. James, don't be ridiculous. Let me in. My stuff's still in there. Wait, where's my car? She glanced toward the parking lot. Her face dropped. Where's my car, James? The entitlement in her voice was unreal, like she fully expected everything to be right where she left it. First of all, it's my apartment. Second, that car was never yours. It's in my name. Legally mine. And I'm selling it. It's at the dealership right now. Her jaw practically hit the ground. You're selling it? She snapped. You can't just do that. I paid for that car. I stayed calm. No, Mary. You made payments to me, payments for using a car that I legally own. You didn't buy it. Your name's not on the title, not on the loan, not on the insurance. Everything's in my name. The sale's already in motion. She looked at me like I'd lost my mind. This is insane. You're stealing from me. I'm calling the cops. She actually pulled out her phone right then and there. I just shrugged. Go ahead, I told her. Call them. Tell them your ex-boyfriend changed the locks to his own apartment after you asked for no contact and took off on a romantic vacation with your ex. Let them know he's selling his own car that's fully titled and registered in his name. See how that conversation goes. She froze. Phone halfway to her ear. I could see the gears turning. Then her face twisted with anger. You're a horrible person. You planned all of this. I raised an eyebrow. Planned? No, Mary. You planned a vacation with your ex and told me not to contact you. I simply took you at your word and handled the fallout. You don't get to bench me and still use my stuff like it's yours. You made your choice. Suddenly, another voice chimed in, one I hadn't expected. Her sister, Robert, 26, came storming up the walkway. She must have been waiting in the car this whole time. "What the hell is going on?" she barked. "Mary? James?" Mary immediately launched into the waterworks routine for her sister's benefit. "He changed the locks on me," she wailed. "He's selling my car. He's throwing me out like I'm nothing." Robert's eyes locked on me. "Are you kidding right now? After everything Mary's done for you, this is how you repay her? You just kick her out and sell her things?" I kept it cool. "It's my apartment, Robert. And that car? Was mine from day one. She asked for space. She ghosted me while jetting off with her ex. Check her Instagram if you think I'm making this up. You're supposed to support her, not punish her for being confused." Robert shot back. "Support her cheating on me? Yeah, I'll pass. She made her decision. Now she can live with it." Mary then started demanding her stuff, right then, right there. It was 9 o'clock at night. "Not happening tonight," I told her. "You can send me a text with a date and time, and I'll have your things boxed and ready near the door. But you're not coming in. Not past the entryway. You can't tell me what to do. I can now. My place, my rules. You said no contact. This is the new arrangement. You want your stuff? Text me. That's how it goes." Then I shut the door. Locked it. My hands were shaking a little, adrenaline, probably. A mix of anger and leftover heartache. But above it all? Relief. I had faced it. It was over. At least for now. I could still hear them outside for a few more minutes, Mary yelling, Robert doing that thing where she pretends to calm people down while actually stirring the pot. Then they finally left. A few hours later, a text came in, but not from Mary. It came from Robert's phone. "Mary needs her stuff tomorrow at 10 a.m. Be ready." No please. No thank you. Just a straight-up command. I texted back one word, okay. I stayed up a while, packing. Her clothes, toiletries, books, little decorative things. Everything I could find. Neatly boxed and stacked by the door. Honestly? It felt kind of cleansing. Like I was scrubbing her out of my space, one cardboard box at a time. Later that week, Thursday, I think, the dealership called. Inspection was done. They gave me the final number, $16,350. A little less than expected because of some tire wear, but fair. I went down on Friday, signed the paperwork, and walked out with a check. Deposited it the same day. It felt like putting the lid on a painful, ridiculously expensive chapter in my life. Then came the pickup day. More drama, because of course. That next Wednesday 10 a.m. sharp, just like Robert's text said, there was a knock at the door. But it wasn't Mary standing there. It was Robert again. And this time, their mom was with her. Linda. Mary? She stayed in the car. Apparently too emotional to face me. Linda started in immediately. She had that kind of fake weepy thing going, tears in her eyes, voice trembling. "James, how could you do this to her? After 2 years together? She loves you." I kept my tone steady. Apparently not enough to skip out on a vacation with her ex while asking me to disappear for a while. It was a mistake. Linda insisted. She was confused. You should forgive her. And selling her car? That was just cruel. She needs that for work. That car was mine, Linda. Bought it, insured it, registered it, all in my name. And her confusion destroyed the relationship. This is what consequences look like. I opened the door wider, showing the boxes stacked neatly in the entryway. There's all her stuff. Take everything. Because this is the only pickup you're getting. Linda sniffed and sneered like I was some kind of monster. We'll need to check the closets, the bathroom, just to make sure you didn't forget anything. I shook my head. Nope. You can take what's here. I packed everything I could find. You're not coming any farther into my apartment. Don't be unreasonable, James. What if you missed something? Then it's lost. We're not doing a scavenger hunt. You can stand right there, I'll stand right here. Take the boxes, that's the deal. They definitely wanted to push their way in. Maybe to snoop, maybe to find something they thought I was holding back. But I wasn't about to let them. They huffed and muttered the whole time, but they made 3 trips to the car and got everything. Linda didn't stop talking the entire time, kept rattling on about how heartless I was, how Mary was crushed, how I owed her money for the car. I just stood there, barely responding. Just kept repeating, it was my car, and she ended it, like a broken record. Because it was true. Once they left, the text started up again, this time, mostly from Mary. They pinged back and forth between over-the-top apologies and angry demands. First, it was I miss you. I made a huge mistake. Please forgive me. Then it shifted to you owe me for that car. I paid for it. I'll take you to small claims court. I didn't respond to the emotional stuff. But for the money demands, I sent one clear message. Mary. The car was legally mine, title, loan, and insurance all under my name. The money you gave me was compensation for using the car, not ownership. Think of it as rent. There's nothing left to discuss. Then I blocked her number. Blocked Robert. Blocked Linda. But that didn't stop the next wave. Suddenly, mutual friends, most of whom I knew through Mary, started reaching out. Stuff like, dude, heard what you did to Mary. Selling her car? That's cold, man. Clearly, she was out there spinning some sob story, making it sound like I just blindsided her out of nowhere, kicked her to the curb, and took her stuff out of spite. Funny how her version of the story conveniently leaves out the part where she went on a romantic beach getaway with her ex, Michael. Shocking, right? I tried explaining the real story to a couple mutual friends I thought might be reasonable. Told them about her need space text, the trip with Michael, and the car being legally mine. Some of them actually listened and got where I was coming from. Others? Not so much. They clearly bought into her drama-filled version. Whatever. People believe what fits their narrative. Then came the real low blow. Yesterday, I got a call from my landlord's office. Apparently, someone had filed an anonymous complaint saying there were loud arguments and disturbances coming from around my apartment. Claimed there was shouting, possible confrontation. My heart dropped for a second, this felt calculated. Like someone was trying to start trouble. Luckily, I've always had a decent relationship with the building manager, so I gave him the real story. Told him that my ex had been living with me, though she wasn't on the lease, and that she moved out recently after we broke up. I explained there was a short argument outside my front door when she came back unannounced and found the locks changed, after she had specifically asked for no contact. I also let him know her family came by briefly to pick up her stuff under supervision. No noise inside the unit. No ongoing issues. He understood. Said he'd make a note of it, but unless more complaints came in or something verifiable happened, they weren't going to do anything with it. Yeah. I'm almost certain that was Mary or Robert trying to stir the pot. Just another little jab to mess with me. Oh, and as if that wasn't enough? I got a message request on Instagram. From Michael. Didn't even open it. Deleted and blocked immediately. I don't need anything from that guy, no smug comments, no drama stirring, nothing. Keep walking. Honestly? All these petty stunts and this constant entitlement from Mary and her crew, it's not making me feel bad. It's just making me feel right. Validated, even. This isn't about a one-time mistake she made. This is who she is. And her sister and mom? Just more enablers propping up the same toxic cycle. Revenge? Nah. This isn't revenge. This is just letting reality catch up with them. Letting them hit that cold wall of consequence. The apartment? Secure. Lease is only in my name. That bogus complaint? Dead in the water. The car? Gone. Check's been cashed. Legal ducks all in a row. Her stuff? Gone. Packed and picked up. Communication? Cut off completely. Everyone blocked. Any future contact, especially threats or legal nonsense, will go straight to a lawyer. I already consulted one just in case. They confirmed everything: car, apartment, my legal standing. Solid. The demands, the crocodile tears, the twisted story she's been feeding people, it's all part of the same script. She really thought she could guilt trip and manipulate her way back into the cushy setup she blew up. Newsflash, Mary, that ship's gone. Burned it myself. Now I'm just focusing on the cleanup, the emotional kind. It sucks to realize someone you cared about, someone you shared a home with, is capable of this level of selfishness and dishonesty. But better to see it now than waste more years being blind to it. It's been about 2 months since Mary came back from her I need space vacation with Michael. Things are finally calm. That's mostly because I stopped playing the game and refused to react to any more drama. Wanted to give a final update, wrap this whole mess up with a bow. The smear campaign? Yeah, she kept pushing it for a while. I lost a few so-called mutual friends, people who knew me through Mary and only got her side of the story. Honestly? Good riddance. If someone hears only her version and jumps ship, they were never really in my corner to begin with. The real ones, my close friends, the people who knew me before any of this, they stuck around. They saw what went down. They supported me fully, no questions asked. At one point, Mary actually tried to take things legal. I got this laughable letter in the mail from some bargain bin lawyer she must have scraped together change to hire. It claimed I owed her $10,000 for her contributions to the car and emotional distress. The thing was riddled with typos and sounded like it had been written on a lunch break. So I had the real lawyer I consulted send back a proper response. Short, sharp, and full of receipts. He included copies of the car's title, loan documents, and insurance, every single one in my name. Also reminded them that any money she paid was for the car's usage over time. Essentially, rent. And technically, if you calculated it per mile using standard rates, she'd actually owe me. We also attached her original I need space text and screen grabs of those cozy beach vacation photos with Michael, timestamped and public. Lastly, a clear warning: keep pushing, and we'd pursue legal fees and maybe even a restraining order based on her attempt to cause trouble with my landlord. After that? Silence. Total silence. I'm guessing her lawyer saw the mess for what it was and told her she didn't have a leg to stand on. And without me around to foot her bills, she couldn't afford a real legal fight anyway. Heard through the grapevine, via someone still loosely in touch with one of Mary's less crazy friends, what happened next. She crashed at Robert's place for a bit. That didn't last long. Apparently, Mary expected Robert to bankroll her life while she sat around doing nothing. Big surprise, that caused tension. And Michael? Yeah, he dipped. Soon as the vacation glow wore off and real life kicked in, he vanished. Classic. She even tried guilt-tripping her mom for money, Linda, the one who gave me the whole "she's confused, she loves you" routine. Word is, Linda helped out a little, but they couldn't support Mary's lifestyle forever. Eventually, she had to pack it up and move back to her hometown. She's living with her parents again now. From what I've heard, she's still complaining non-stop, telling anyone who'll listen that I ruined her life. No accountability. No growth. Just the same old entitled victim act. And me? I've got peace. No more 2 a.m. texts. No more guilt trips. No more games. My apartment feels like mine again. I even repainted the living room last weekend. Got rid of a bunch of the stuff she picked out. Reclaiming the space piece by piece. And it feels damn good. The revenge? It wasn't some big dramatic scene. No screaming match, no public meltdown. It was quiet. Intentional. Controlled. All I really did was follow her lead, gave her exactly what she asked for, space and no contact. Then I let the natural consequences of her choices play out, uninterrupted. She wanted space? Cool. She got more space than she ever imagined. She wanted to chase something with her ex while stringing me along as backup? Alright. But she got to deal with the wreckage of that decision all on her own. She treated my support, my apartment, my car, hell, my presence, like they were guaranteed? Like they were just part of the package? Yeah, well, the moment she burned the bridge, all that went with it. And look, I'll admit it. Selling the car? The one she flaunted like it was hers? While she was literally lying on a beach with another dude? That part hit different. That felt damn good. Coming back to find her key didn't work and her precious parking space was empty? Chef's kiss. That was reality knocking. Loud and clear. She didn't just lose me. She lost the whole setup, the comfort, the stability, the perks, because she thought she could treat me like a placeholder. Like some emotionally available ATM with a lease. And yeah, it hurt. I won't pretend it didn't cost me emotionally. Took a while to untangle all the trust, to sit with the betrayal. But I handled it logically. I didn't lash out. I protected myself. Drew the line and stood firm on it. She thought she could play both sides. Thought I'd be waiting around when she came back. She gambled. And she lost. She ran into the consequences of her own actions, and this time, there was no soft landing. No one to clean up the mess for her. Her entitlement couldn't protect her. That's what made it satisfying. Not revenge. Just reality, served cold and without warning. So yeah. Good riddance, Mary. I'm finally, fully done. No more rehashing. No more looking back. Time to move on, clean, clear, and free.